I just feel like my worst fear is like we fall in love, we have this beautiful connection. It's like, we do the reveal and it's like, oh, wow, like we never really talked about physical. And like, that is important to me. Like, love is blind, like I get it, trust me, I get it. I just want to have that reveal door and like, be super turned on by my wife,
In what way do you want to talk about appearance in a experiment where we're not talking about appearance?
I just have to be attracted to you.
Do you have like a specific thing that you're hoping comes through that door, or are you open to like a beauty that maybe you've never explored?
Naturally, I would say I kind of lean towards more like petite. My favorite attribute is like lips, butt, and all that stuff. And that sounds like so shallow and all that, but like caring what your best attributes are. If I'm gonna propose, that's something I need to know.
Regardless of the emotional connection.
Regardless of the emotional connection,
You know what, bro? What do you mean tell you what I look like? Like, I do have like very basic name and like super soft voice, so I could be literally anything, and like somebody like trying to guess exactly what I look like is a turn off for me, because that's not what we're here for. I personally don't want to sell myself based off like my physical attribute. That to me defeats the purpose, and I understand if that's not gonna work for you. And then I understand that you personally, as the man that you are, looks is, are everything. And
not everything, but it's a big part of.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not mad. No matter what it looks like to the outside world or to me, like Clay is gonna show up as Clay. And like he gives me the option to accept it or reject it. But like Clay is extremely hung up on appearance. And it does bother me because I have so much more to offer. I should have took my ass.
Nally episode, Clay and AD went to the altar. AD said, I do, but Clay did not. His excuse was that he was not ready for marriage. But the cast members know that when they participated in the show, the goal is to be married at the end of 4 weeks. Now, I've been reporting on the show periodically, and I don't know which one of y'all said it, but it was like, what? Get married in 4 weeks? Yeah, that's just how it is. But you know this before you go on the show. And the fans are questioning why AD would sign up for the show no, not AD. Come on, producers. The fans are questioning why Clay would sign up for the show if he wasn't ready to get married. But Clay spoke to People magazine and said, I was battling a lot. I think what you're seeing is a moment of self-doubt based off how I was raised. I saw my dad have some infidelity moments. He even took Clay along with him in some of those infidelity moments when he was a child. So this is what he's seeing growing up. He said, so I think for me, I made the commitment when I was actually in it. I was like, can I really do this? Because he was convincing and very reassuring. They're an attractive couple and they were a black couple, so I was rooting for black love. But these were kind of like red flags that AD should have saw. AD is the woman that she should have saw. He always said that he had a problem. He was scared of himself cheating.
Yeah, especially if you saw your daddy do it in that way.
Yeah,
your daddy was fiending to cheat. If he's taking you with him to cheat.
Yep, and even the commentary that his dad had, because he was joined by his mom and dad at the wedding day, and his mother dropped a lot of gems, and she actually talked to her ex-husband, which was Clay's dad, and he was like, he didn't really care. The dad was just like, man, you did what's best for you. It's all right.
So he did this at the altar?
He did this at the altar.
Wow.
Now, mind you, yeah, it is 4 weeks, but you knew in your mind, you know what I'm saying? Now, he said he knew when he got up there and like he was actually in it, he couldn't go through with it. But the remarks when she walked down the aisle, he was just like, look at that body. Like, it was just, and then he's used to dating a certain type of woman. Now, looks do matter to Clay.
Okay.
And that was the thing. AD is not unattractive. She's just not what he would usually go after. And he kept saying, I'm scared of myself cheating. I may cheat, and he kept bringing that up. So that was red flags that she saw. Now she did have faith.
You think she thought she could change him?
I think so. And in the grand scheme of things, yeah. And she was also kind of saying like she had faith in him. She did. She had a little doubt herself in him at one point, but she was gonna fight for it.
If that man tell you he gonna cheat, you better have faith in him that he gonna cheat.
But that's the thing.
Do you think it's BS? You think he did it for the show? He knew 4 weeks he would have to do it. He knew he was gonna get to that altar. He knew he was gonna get the TV time, the press, and all that other stuff. And you know he's gonna take it to another level. So, you know he was always
probably
gonna stand around.
performative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very performative. Sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what Wale think though. Wale,
Wale who? The rapper?
The rapper. He is totally invested into the show, and he was like, "Man, you don't do a girl like that. Like that's crazy. Like that was messed up. That he. Why are you looking like that? Because Wale said something.
We waiting on music from Wale, and he out here watching Love Is Blind. If you don't put some goddamn music out, Wale, I don't care about your thoughts on Love Is Blind. I don't care about your Love Is Blind takes. Where the
But
music
he
at,
is
Wale?
a poet. This might be inspiration. This may
That's true.
inspire some
That's
good
true.
music because we know when Wale get in the booth, it's gonna be fire.
Lotus Flower Bomb Part 2.
You know, yeah. But I just think I encourage you to watch it, y'all. I
Why?
encourage y'all to watch it.
You
what are you
watch
talking
it.
about?
You tell me about it.
I've been watching it, and that's
what
why I'm reporting
saying.
on it. Thank you very much.
I act like I know it because you tell me about it so much.
That's sad.
Yeah, AD and Clay.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Went into this experiment wanting to be married. You know, like although I didn't believe I would find marriage, the desire to be married is there.
There is so much to talk about. I just need to know, for you, how has it been watching this all play out?
It's like I'm a fly on the wall for my own life. And I would say that I'm looking at it in the sense of, it's like watching tape as an athlete. I'm identifying
right.
things I could do to get better. And I'm just taking it from a humbling perspective of things I could do differently.
And I think that's the right way to look at it. I'm sure there are a couple of things that you wish you did differently.
The one thing I'm taking away from this show, because I came off as authentically myself, that there needs to be a little bit toned down from the delivery. The delivery needs to be a little bit polished, a little bit better.
I don't know if you saw this, but AD called you a walking red flag.
Yeah.
Is that looking? I know you're doing a lot of self-reflection. Do you think you were a walking red flag?
I don't think so. I do think that in life, you do have family trauma that comes about. And I do think that I'm a work in progress. And I do believe that everybody's a work in progress. I pretty much came in and just wanted to let people know I'm not perfect, but I have a lot of things going for myself. So even with the red flag conversation, it's like, let's kind of tone that down a lot, because a lot of men would love to be in my position and the things that I've done, you know, the
Right.
things I've been able to accomplish. I'm really happy about that. And I'm very well grounded. I have so much support, and I'm really happy with the support system that I was able to grow over these years. You can't be a red flag and have, you know, just so many blessings come to your life. I would say the biggest issue is that in relationships, I need work on, you know, like I came from a little bit of a, you know, everything working well in my life, and I didn't really focus on the relationship aspect. So I do the show to build an emotional connection. Then I realized, okay, I'm doing all this work in my life and in my job, in my entrepreneurship, my business. I need to put the work in my relationship. So I think that was a little bit of the underlying message I was trying to give off.
You were very open about your dad and his past like infidelity trips. I would imagine that was probably hard for you to bring up, knowing that this was also going to be shown. Your mom would have seen it.
It wasn't easy. It's something that we're actually dealing with now, because, you know, even with my dad, it's been tough for me to even have that conversation with him and really just kind of get to the root of it and kind of let him understand of, you know, some of the actions that he did when we were younger, you know, plays an effect and how I date now. You know, even Lauren, I didn't even know those stuff played a role into my dating, and really until I did this show. So I get the whole knowledge of like, oh, he's a red flag, he's a red flag. I honestly was just trying to, you know, be the best version of myself. And I realized that I had problems. And I just wanted to articulate that to my partner. It really was no ill will. It really wasn't me trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It was just me trying to let my partner know transparently, like, hey, this is where I'm coming from.
You also told her that you're nervous, you're scared that you're not going to be faithful with her. Have you cheated in the past?
I haven't cheated. I've had moments where I guess you could say a situationship where the girl really loves you and you cheated. I haven't cheated on anybody that I actually claimed as my girlfriend. So I don't want to say I'm a cheater. I think that for me, whenever I date, I'm very honest. If I feel as though that I'm not feeling a relationship and cheating could happen, I would typically let the person know that, hey, I don't think we're going on the right path, and I would end the relationship. I'm not a proponent of cheating. You know, and that's why marriage is a big thing for me, because I I don't want to get a divorce. And I understand that infidelity causes divorces. So for me, I just don't want to follow the same patterns that my family went down. So cheating is a big deal. And I wanted to make sure that there was no ifs, ands, and buts when going into this marriage.
The end goal of this show is to get married. Because, you know, you keep saying, I'm scared to get married. I'm scared for this. Did you know going into the show, okay, maybe I just won't get married?
No, I thought that, well, my beginning when I joined the show, my intention was really to build an emotional connection. I didn't think that I was capable of really, I was going to find love on the other side.
Got
I
it.
didn't think I would, and I did. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. But in terms of the marriage thing, I went into this experiment wanting to be married, like, although I didn't believe I would find marriage, the desire to be married is there. Like, it's still here to this day. I want a family. I would love to have a wife. I think for me, though, Lauren, was that I wasn't focused on finding a wife. I was more so focused in my regular life of being the best person I could be, and also getting my business up, and also controlling the things that I could control. I wasn't really putting in the work relationship wise, which is why a lot of the fears came out on camera, because before this, I wasn't dating seriously. I wasn't putting in the work. I wasn't going to therapy. So it's almost like a test that you think you're preparing for. And then you get there and you're like, oh, damn, I don't know the answers to this question. And it was a very simple and genuine thing. And I definitely expressed a lot of pessimism towards myself, which I need to talk more grace into my relationships, which is something that I'm working on and speaking light into it. But I did think that at the end of this, I'll be able to find marriage.